Just to sort of think about what this means for you, and I guess that made me start to reflect on my own situation at the moment, and also my family. And as Helen was saying, we think about friends and family, don't we? So I have members of my family, like you all do, who've had mental health problems, but the generation before me, it was totally secret. So I grew up with people with mental health problems and had no idea that they had mental health problems. And I now talk to those people, and the fear that they had around ending up in a long stay hospital, that was their reaction at that stage. I was sitting in one of our strategy meetings the other day, and we were talking about the need to increase numbers of people accessing services, particularly those early intervention services, the psychological wellbeing services. And I sat there thinking, I can help increase that referral rate by going myself, because I've been struggling lately. And even somebody that works in mental health services for a while, 20 years, has done work on stigma, reducing stigma. It's actually quite hard for me to admit that I needed to get help. But I felt quite lucky because my friends and family understand mental health. Because I've worked in social work for many years, I've got people around me I can talk to. And because I work in services, I knew what to do. But it struck me from our conversation earlier, we were talking about quick access to services. There's still, the majority of people probably don't know what that first step is and don't know how to get help. So I think that's one of the things, my aspiration at the moment. A lot of things to do, a lot of financial challenges, a lot of restructuring, but we've got to make this a human system that makes sense to people and is an easy story to tell, so that we've got widespread knowledge across our communities about what mental health is, what it isn't, what you can do to help yourself, and actually what you can do to help other people. And so that first step people were voting for, about knowing where to go and get help quickly, is really vital. The other thing that personally I've been thinking about lately is what I tell my children about this. I've got an 11-year-old and a 14-year-old who probably know dad is not quite right at the moment and is struggling. So I'm actually thinking about how I help the next generation in a positive way, with a positive message about how support works. Yesterday I had my first session with the wellbeing service locally. It was brilliant, it was excellent. A very caring, empathetic person who took me through all the questions I've asked other people over the years when I've been doing assessments, so I knew what she was talking about. But she did it in a very, very genuine way, a very helpful way. So I think my hope, and thinking about the services I manage, is that we keep that human side going all the time. We talked on our table about not knowing where to go, not knowing what services are available, but it's that human contact, that first step, and that person that's willing to listen to you and help you sort out those problems. So I think that's a message I'm going to keep repeating to the staff I manage, friends and family as well. And I think the other message is that this has got to be sustained. So I think there's a lot of improvements. That generational thing I've talked about, the stigma is much less than it used to be, but we've got a long way to go, haven't we? So we've got to sustain that. And I think we probably need to be a bit more positive about what's good as well, because that encourages people to seek help and use help. So those are the things I'm hoping to get through this process. Thank you.